about, is this an adult on board? Hello, this is the Triton. This picture wasn't just found roaming on the internet. No. This picture, whoa, was part of the official, I don't know what you call it, United Cajun Navy report. Labeled the boat Triton. And on it, I'm looking at this dude. He looks like he's got a beard. He's full grown. Look like he'd be in his 40s, late 30s on the boat. That's what I'm seeing. You're going to have to tell me. I mean, this isn't even potato footage. I'm like, dude, look at you on the boat, the Triton. You know, the Triton's the one that was sinking. I broke down a little bit of the timeline, and this time we're going chronological through what everybody said. Okay, we've got the videos, we've got this, we've got that. So I took what they said and I kind of put it in place. Daphne's case files also did that. So I pulled some of the times from what she shared as well with her source and so forth, as well as it's for real. Nancy Grace is, what do you call the guy? Researcher? I don't know. The guy that does the work behind the scenes. Yeah, I got a clip from him and he's bringing it up. How come there was texting between Katie and the friends? Thought they didn't know each other. How'd they text each other? So we're gonna be breaking it all down today and getting into the Nolan Wells case. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to 1111. And wow, you guys, I got a new hat. I love it. Do you love it? I love it a lot. It is our 1111 logo, and I really like it. Lady Tidy's here with us. We are live. And she says, hello, Mama D, and all you beautiful peeps. She says, I love all the blue. You look beautiful. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. These will be in the store shortly. I'm testing it, my first one out today. We did have a deck party today, which is a huge thank you to all of our sponsors. You guys are incredible. I can't thank you enough. And we got huge feedback that a lot of people want the blue hat. And so we've got it on our to-do list to order you some. And we'll have them in the shop at 1111dex.com. So that being said, Julie says, yes, it's beautiful on you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. I get pretty for you. I live in a little tiny town. I mean, I could go to the store in my PJs and they would not care. So I appreciate that you take note that I do things special for you, because that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to make you feel at home, right? Feel like at home. Talking about feeling at home like friends, right? Let's talk about Nolan Wells' friends. This is getting undeniable when it's coming out of Warren's own mouth that there was texting with Katie and his buddy, his friends. How do you do that if you don't know the person? You feel me? So they had communication. Also, we need to get into this. I want to talk about this guy. What did I do? I didn't put the phone up. Hold on. I like the phone because sometimes my YouTube chat freezes on the computer and I don't see it. And you know, I like to converse with you. And technical difficulty. We are live. Just give me a second. Just give me a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. I gotta go here. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. I'm ready. Let's talk about this. When Warren spoke, he suggested, or he said, something like his dad was going to go, but then at the last minute canceled. And so therefore, Warren was saying how he could take all the friends around, right? He's like, of course I'll do that. Keep that in mind when you look at this picture, because let's just get into this. Who the heck is that? Who's that dude? Or we're going to blow it up. And we're also going to be talking about this communication between and the timeline. Holy crap, the timeline. I do have an adjustment on the timeline, but we'll do that together. All right, so let's talk about where this came from. So I downloaded the actual PDF from the Cajun Navy. And so this is indeed theirs. And let's move this out of the way for a minute. This is one of their photographs. They've labeled the Palm Beach. Let me get my stuff off here so you know what is what. Oh, it's not going to go small. All right. I'll make it work. Okay. So let's get everything off here so that you see I've screenshot from the United Cajun Navy's PDF itself. This isn't just randomly off of tic-tac-toe, okay? You know what I'm going for. And Palm Beach boat is right here. We have another boat over here, curiously. That'll come into play later. Okay, boat number 3 over here. And we have Triton right here. So I was like, who's that guy? Who's the guy? Let's blow it up, right? Let's make it bigger. Who in the holy Jesus above is this man? And I say man because you're never in a million freaking years going to convince me that that's not some 35-year-old or older dude. Now remember, this boat is sinking. Remember all the conversation where they were having the dispatch call and there's no one over 21. No one over 21. Meanwhile, he sounded like he was being distracted because, in my humble opinion, sounds exactly like what happens when you have a teenager on the phone and you're trying to tell him what to say. Feel me? That's my thoughts. But look at this dude. Are y'all seeing it? Tell me. Give me a 1 in chat if you see this older man. Give me a 2 if you just haven't seen him yet, because you'll see him. Do you agree that he's older? Because holy crap, he's built older. Agreed, Jennyville, right? You can see his physique. He is older. He got hair on his back, y'all. Hair on his back. You show me. There's a few, but there's not too many 18 and youngins that got thick patches of hair on their back to that level. Yeah, how does Cajun Navy have pics? So they basically were given them by people that were there on Horn Island during the search, saying, here's a pic. I don't know. It's got the boat Triton in it, that kind of thing. And they compiled them into a report showing, basically trying to lock down where Nolan was last, so compared to the boat Triton, so they know where to look for him. So, that being said, H-Town Blondie says, I'm curious, in your opinion, I can't talk today. In your opinion, well, I appreciate you. Nolan's mom was talking about a coach that was there. Yep, we got that in the timeline too. So when you see this, y'all, keep in mind this little Triton boat. Hold on. It's the one sinking later. It's the one sinking later. And this is the Triton boat. So when you look at this dude, please tell me. Now, the bigger I make it, the more it just gets so absurd you can't even tell who, what. But I will say this. He do look like he got some serious facial hair. Okay? I mean, if we get our little drawings stick out, look at this. This dude has got the G.I. Joe. The G.I. Joe. Remember back, I am really telling on my age, when the G.I. Joe Barbie doll came out and he had like, the beard and the mustache, and it was really short, but it was a beard and you could pull the tape off and put that on him. That's how old I am. For real. Okay, so he's got the G.I. Joe mustache and beard, right? It's not like full-blown hair, but you can tell it's gruff. I mean, what's that about? Let me get this off the pointer. Get that out of there so you can see it. Now, I haven't even begun to look at the rest of this, but I would question who this is. I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking. Now, remember, the Triton is the boat that Nolan allegedly rode out on. And this is the boat that allegedly they were sinking in when they called the sea tow, which got canceled because Grandpa canceled it because Bart was on his way to help get them out of the water. And then you have to ask, where'd this adult go? And why are they on the Triton? You think he's older too? Well, let's do this. Let's look at that. I have no idea who this is, so we'll just take this dude. Okay. And let's go ahead and do this, make this much bigger. I think that could be a younger fella for me. Somebody that's in there, maybe 20, maybe 23. I don't know. But the dude behind him looks like, y'all, he looks like he's as old as Steve Gonsalves from the Idaho 4 case, doesn't he? Tell me, am I wrong? Look at this dude. You tell me what teenager looks like that. There ain't one. There isn't one. Yes, yeah, I get it. They said an adult over the age of 20, they said no adult over the age of 21. So, okay. It makes me wonder sometimes in cases if what really happens, like, if the teenagers are being used by adults in a cover-up. So, did something happen in this timeline? Because, oh my golly, when we walk the timeline, when these people say that they saw Nolan from their own mouth and we put it into a chronological order timeline, there's a hiccup right here. And we're going to start out. We're going to show it. We're going to talk about it. And that time is critical because it's not just my time, it's their time, and it is the United Cajun Navy is also bullseyeing in on that time when they're trying to find Nolan. That time, that specific time, shows a train of events, like they're all connected into boom, 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 that is telling us something very serious. And that's the last time frame that we have any solid knowledge of Nolan physically being seen again. They've got rumors that sometime around 6, some invisible couple claim to have seen Nolan, and he asked them for a ride and they said, no, we're full capacity. He said, don't worry about it. Got a lot of friends on the island. I'd get a ride with someone else. If he had friends on the island, why would Nolan be going to strangers to ask? That story right there is BS in my eyes until I see hard proof. It's discounted, debunked. There is no way that my teenage boy is going to go up to a complete stranger and ask to get on their boat for a ride back if he has friends there. There's just no way. So I don't buy that crap. Anyway, let's get into this and let's talk a little bit more about this. So, I don't know who this is. I have no idea. But what a great age comparison there. If this dude, you think he looks a little bit older, maybe in his early 20s, then my golly jeepers, who the heck is this behind him? You feel me? Crime True Bestie says maybe he got on the boat when it was being towed to help the kids. This is before the towing. This is well before the towing. So way prior to even them being in distress. Mazda says, could they be the supplier of alcohol and stuff? That's a good question. Joan Rex says, no one mentions this oldster because he was probably in fear of buying booze for the kids. Somebody had to. Do you really think, if you really think about this, I want you to really hear this out. Warren talked about 2 boats. The bigger one hooked up to his vehicle in the morning. They went to McDonald's. Nolan didn't go with them. Wyatt took the smaller of the 2 boats out. So if Wyatt took the small boat and Warren rode over the first time with Bart, who's the driver? Who's the captain of the bigger boat? We need to know that. That captain is responsible for all the people on board. And what boat is the bigger boat? Is that the Trident? Because that's when you got a problem. Because then that captain of the Trident would technically be responsible for all the people on board to safely return as per the boat laws. So not knowing who the hell the captain is, and Warren suggesting that he didn't even drive a boat, really brings me into OMG. So the parents allowed Warren to take out 2 boats, let Wyatt drive one, and some unknown person, random friend or something like that, drive the other. And Warren isn't even responsible for a boat because he's over on Bart's boat. That seems strange. It's like playing hot potato where they keep removing a chair and one person's left out without a place to sit down. Meaning Warren pulling off of the captain's chair and saying, no, I rode out with Bart. He's no longer the captain of a boat and can't be held responsible for nothing. So who was driving his boat? Unless we're being lied to. I don't know. Are we? Who knows? But that's why the boats are so important. Then you have to remember, Warren is the one that is telling us that his dad has canceled and isn't there. Canceled at the last minute. So could this be Warren's dad? I have no idea. I'm just simply asking questions. Who is this adult that's on the Trident before they go into problems? It's just weird to me. Faith in Christ says, at this point, what do I need a FBI for when you got all these YouTube sleuthers? Seeking Justice, yes, and him with striped shorts looks older too, but I don't know who they are yet. Me either. But they're on the sinking boat, right? Whoops, I didn't mean to delete that. Let's go back over. Okay. Let's get this shrunk down for a minute. All of it. All of it. Make it tiny. Christ, it's tiny. All right, here we go. at this. We have this person right here. It appears to me that there may be another person on the other side. So that's 2. We got the old geezer here. You know, Grandpa Jones right here. We got Grandpa Jones in a white hat. We got a young girl here. We have another girl right here, kind of blonde-haired, or a woman. Or a guy with long hair. Who knows? Somebody bending over here. We've got a person up front. You can see shoulders, possibly 2 up here. Don't know for sure. You got this guy in a white hat, or a girl. You got this person. You got this blonde. And you got this person. This dude, okay, let's talk. Let's get a picture of this. All right, you tell me if you think this is a teenager. Okay. Okay, I made it too big. What in the Sam Hill is this? Hold on. What's going on here? Is this a young guy or is this an older dude? I can't make this out. Do his trunks end way up here? And he's got a tattoo, or is this long shorts with a pattern? No, it's an adult. Y'all, is this dude, does he look a little bit beef for a very young fella? We know they don't fully get that muscular. Look at this. This dude, he got some muscles. You can even see the definition here. He's got muscles. Right? Okay, let me do this. Y'all, where did these adults go? Okay, there's a young man, 18 years old, found passed away in the water, face down, okay? So there's a CETO call that gives a latitude and longitude that doesn't even match what I saw in the reports of the GPS. So that's already like, what? But that being said, it was quite clear that on the CETO, on the Triton, there was no one over the age of 21, no adults. It was weird the way it was said. It was as if it was a point to be made. Is there anybody on board? Any adults or children alive on board? No adults. Sir, that was not the question I asked you. Is there anybody at all breathing on the boat? No one under the age of 21. I mean, she almost had to pull the teeth out of his head to get the answer. Why? Was it to make sure that legally there was a statement that then could be used later to suggest there are nobody to be held accountable for? Because Warren's not even driving that boat on the way out there. So he's not responsible for any passengers. He's simply leaving on a boat. He's still a passenger. Y'all feel me? This is like, I get this. I'm just throwing it all out there, walking it together. Is that a big tattoo? It almost, okay, if it's not shorts, which I do think it, is it shorts, y'all? I don't even understand it. Is that a tattoo? Hold on. Is that like somebody else or is that his leg? See, I can't tell anymore. If that's his leg, is that a tattoo, like a army tattoo or something? I don't know. You think I can't even read your name. Full of KG DeBoss. Okay. You say allegedly you think it's Katie's sister's husband, maybe? Joe, look at the picture walking down the beachfront. Bunch of girls, and maybe Nolan could be identified if we knew the girls. I don't think it's Nolan. All right, you guys. Let's continue. Okay. Listen to this, y'all.
Question. Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative reporter. Didn't at the get-go the friends on the boat state they didn't know the name of the girl? They didn't know who she was. They had never seen her before. I'm paraphrasing. We can look up their exact words. Then, does it turn out they're actually texting with her about where is Nolan?
Apparently, Nancy, you have to realize a couple things here, and it's getting lost in the muck and the mire, is the friends. We use the term Nolan's friends that he went to Horn Island with. Well, you know what, Nancy? Many people have said that he didn't know Katie, they didn't know Katie before that day, and that Nolan just started talking to her. But now it appears that they, being the group of friends, were communicating with Katie and knew who she was, and that during the...
Then why would they say they didn't know who she was? Call her some girl, a girl.
Why would they call her some girl? Let's listen to a little of that.
And that was to my brother.
Hold on. Let's rewind that part. I want to make sure you hear it.
I want you to hear what one of them said, though, about the mysterious Katie.
I didn't wake up again until a little after 11 o'clock. And that was to my brother coming in the room being like, hey, Warren's trying to get a hold of you. Warren gets on the phone and he's just like, hey, man, he was like, hey, have you talked to Nolan? Anything else? I was like, no, I haven't talked to him, man. He was with that girl last time I knew. And he was like, okay. He was like, man, we can't get a hold of him. We don't know where he's at. And I was like, man, it's Nolan. He's probably just out somewhere with that girl. Like, get a hold of the girl, you'll probably find Nolan.
Okay, right there, I'm getting a red flag. That's from the Officer Tatum podcast, who joined us recently. That girl, the mysterious Katie. Remember, nobody who knew who she was. But then later, Dave Mack, do we learn that one of the guys on the boat had been texting with her and knew full well who it was? Where did the name Katie come from?
Katie was known to at least one person in the group, and that leads you to believe there were certainly more. There were a number of comments publicly made by friends of Nolan that backtracking, claiming they didn't know who Katie was, had never seen her before, and then you find out, yeah, well, not only did they know her, but they were texting around about her. So there's a lot of missing information here, Nancy, and it's why you've said all along, why are these guys not on a polygraph?
And for those of you that are going to be like, they did take a polygraph. Number one, Warren didn't. Number two, that wasn't a polygraph. That was some sort of a voice test, stress test or something. There's probably a huge difference. That's why one is called a polygraph and the other's a whatever. So you guys, listen to where Warren tells us. Now, you've probably heard it 1,000 times by now, but listen to when Warren is telling us about the texting.
11 o'clock. And that was to...
Whoops. Okay, let's try this one.
Katie sent a message to my buddy the next day and said,
Katie messaged my buddy the next day. Katie messaged my buddy. I thought none of them knew her. Nobody knew she was. If you get a hold of that girl, if you can find out who that girl is, maybe you can find out where Nolan is when they're searching. I thought they didn't know who Katie was, but if Katie's texting friends, what? Come on.
you know, this is the last time I saw him, you know, he's really sweet. But she also mentioned that the last time she saw Nolan was when my buddy was yelling at him to get on the boat. And she was right there to see that Nolan decided not to.
Yeah, that's not what she says. That she never says that he decided not to.
Nolan was, the last time I saw Nolan was 3 o'clock. And Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms, Katie. Katie. And Katie, Nolan was...
Katie, Katie. Cradling a girl.
Sitting there, and the last time I saw him, I looked at Nolan, and Nolan was like shaking his head, laughing, and I was like, dude, you crazy.
Why is Nolan crazy for cradling Katie? Why is that? I mean, if Katie is somebody's girl, or somebody already has put dibs in the friend group that they like Katie, it could upset someone. That would make you crazy to be hitting on Katie if, your friend has made it clear that he's going to, be interested in Katie. Something's weird with the whole, dude, you crazy. Because that's the last thing that Warren ever said to Nolan. Dude, you crazy. And then Nolan's dead. Something be weird here. And with seeing adults on the Triton, the question is, did the adults ever leave that boat? The whole distraction on the phone, talking to dispatch. Am I going to have to listen to that whole audio again with different ears, as if possibly there are adults on the boat that are telling the kids what to say? Who drove that boat out there? The Triton boat. Wyatt took the smaller boat. Warren drove back or rode in with Bart. Who drove the Triton? I don't know, y'all. North of 49 Canuck 6. Did not need protection, that's fine, but stop blaming his friends for not looking after him. Don't tell me what to do. Don't come in my house and tell me what to do. Don't tell my people what to do. We're not blaming them for not looking after him, even though I am discussing that a captain of a boat would need to assure that the passengers return with them. I've been discussing, is there an adult on that boat? So the other thing is don't tell my family how to think, because you're not welcome here if you do. Everybody's allowed to feel how they want. North of 49 Canuck 6 again says, was he a child needing guidance? He should have stayed home. Not disrespectful to say he was a man not needing his friend's protection. Excuse me? You are going out with your friends in a group because you know that you got your friends back and your friends got your back. And if you feel differently, that's fine. But yeah, he was only 18. And though he is a legal adult, he is by far still a child in my eyes. All right? So that was pathetic to read. TCP 154 Warren would have never done this interview had the Ceto phone call come out before this. Interesting. That's right, Jennyville. North, it's more of if you come together, you go together. That's right. Okay, you don't talk like that. Send that person out the door. We've obviously struck a nerve in asking, let's go back before we get into the timeline, because now I know we hit a solid point somebody doesn't want us talking about. They come in the chat, they're now swearing at us. That troll, we can guarantee you, I've had enough experience to know that it's somebody that's very triggered, if you follow me, that I am showing and pointing out that we have obviously some what appears to be adults, right? I mean, convince me and the jury that that's not an adult if there ever is a jury or even a grand jury. Could this be added to the probable cause? Could we get an investigator? Could we get somebody? Please, can I open up? Sheriff's Department, we have a couple questions for you, sir. Just questions, not accusations. Where were you at this time, at that time, on the 4th? Can you provide your route? Can you provide your phone, please? Thank you. I mean, it's questioning the situation. If there isn't indeed an adult responsible for this, if that's even true, that person needs to be held responsible, right? And so when I'm seeing some guy like that on the Triton, I'm wondering who the hell drove the Triton out, because Warren wasn't driving no boat. Wyatt was driving a little boat. We got an extra driver, but my dad canceled at the last minute. Okay, maybe it wasn't your dad. Who's the adult then? Who's the adult? Was he a captain? What's with all the white hats? Is that a club thing? Maybe you should look into that. I ain't going to waste my time. Slim Life 2. I'm sure Katie has been interviewed a few times, being that she is in the situation so many times. They've interviewed 60 plus people. I'm sure they've definitely questioned her. Seeking Justice says whoever owns it is going to jail. In your opinion, they should have been supervised. Dude, you crazy. Joan Recker says, in my opinion, maybe Nolan wasn't accepted by Katie's parents, and maybe she had another boyfriend. They're all trying to dodge a civil suit. That could be. I don't know. Noah is my daughter. Welcome back. Is my only daughter. Welcome back. And everyone's saying that the audio is so fake and everyone is being sued, but not the people that enhance the audio. Charlene, welcome back, lovely. Welcome back. All right, you guys, let's jump over here back to where we were. And did we listen to this one? I don't know if we listened to this all the way. Let's listen to it, and if I remember it, we'll go.
Katie sent a message to my buddy the next day.
Yeah, we did that one. Okay, we're on this one.
The last time I saw Nolan was 3 o'clock. And Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms. Katie. Katie. And Katie.
Okay, we did that one too.
Nolan was sitting.
Okay, this is Daphne Case Files. Please go give her channel lots of love and support her. She works very, very hard, and she's young at heart. She's got some really good videos out there, and we always want to support those that are working hard on any case. And in this case, it happens to be Nolan Wells. So this is Daphne Case Files, and here you go. Listen to this one.
Now look at this. So these are from a Kimberly James. That's what it says at the bottom of the screenshot. And I want to pull this photo down here. It says July 4th at 5:44 p.m. Okay. 5:44 p.m. would have been 1 hour, almost exact, after Nolan had asked a bystander if he could leave the island. They said, I apologize. We do not have any room on our boat at the moment.
Okay.
Okay. He says it's okay.
There, I have to say, I don't believe the post. I know it was posted on whatever. I believe it was a troll that has an agenda to establish a later alibi. That's why I believe we're not seeing proof of it. We're not seeing proof that Nolan had a picture taken of him. We're not seeing proof of any video or anything. We don't have any other eyewitnesses at all saying that Nolan was there walking that beach line. And if they are saying that Nolan was asking them for a ride, which they never say that, they avoid that statement. They say, We told him, we saw a kid that looks like him, all right, with this group. Then all of a sudden they make it sound like he's by himself. So saw him with his friends. Then he's walking by their boat, and they tell him. So they leave out the whole important part where Nolan says the question. They skip that part. And what they say is that they told him they didn't have room because they're up to capacity on their boat. And Nolan allegedly says, that's okay. I've got plenty of friends still on the island. You're telling me one, again, it's worth it. It's worth repeating. Bears repeating. There it is. Why would Nolan ask complete strangers if he can ride on their boat if he has friends on the island still? Number two, nobody else saw him. And if he's walking that beach line, there was plenty of people. 1, 2, 3, every boat he passed as he's walking that beach line to get to that person. He never asked nobody else. He didn't stop and ask even 2 other people, not even one. So no, I don't buy that shite. I think that is damage control. That's just my opinion. So let's get into this other part. I'm more into the pictures of allegedly Katie.
Okay, I have
The video.
other people I know that I could ride back with. But the thing is, this young lady, this is supposedly Katie, the one that he was hanging out with that day. Okay, supposedly Katie right here in this purple bathing suit from my
It looks blue
understanding.
as blue
okay?
to me.
And this is
Or
other
unless
people
that's her way
obviously
in the
on the
back.
boat right here. And then we're going to look down here. And you can see there's a bunch of other photos here. This is obviously an iPhone. Okay, so when you do a screenshot, you can see their whole photo lineup here. I don't know if they accidentally meant to do that, but you can see a bunch of them here on the boat.
Okay. So let's look at this video. She said purple bathing suit. The only one that I can see that's in purple is that girl right there.
44. You can see they're already moving on the boat. Okay,
But
let's
this
look at
looks
the
like
next
her
one.
in the
So we're gonna be
blue.
going backwards. That was at 5:44. This one is at 5:24 p.m. Okay, there's Katie.
So you can see in the background at 5:24 that she's already left. Let me get it pinned right there. Horn Island. To see Horn Island back here? She's already left Horn Island and it's 5:24. Okay? Now, I've got to change something real quick that this is at 5:40, what is it, 5:43? Okay, so this is going to get moved. We're going to go over this timeline. Okay, so let's start with Daphne's. And she explains it pretty good, but she does go back into the couple. Like she's really hung up on that post where the couple said, I saw who looked like him a little bit close to 6-ish, after 6, asking for a ride, but he said he had friends still there. She really does rely on that. And to me, that's just some damage control post to be a red herring and send you in the wrong direction. But other than that, I love all this work she does because she works hard.
Katie is leaving the island at 5. Just showed you the screenshots from someone's Snapchat. It shows the timestamps there. Right here, Javon sees Nolan after 4 p.m. with Katie and friends. That's exactly what it said on that interview.
Yeah.
Katie and friends. There was an altercation around 4:01. It would have been the same time, around the same time that Javon would have witnessed Katie and Nolan.
Except, okay, let's just jump ahead. Let's look at this because I just want to walk you through all of this, and I just don't have the patience. All right. So, according to Nolan's mother, a coach approaches Nolan. They have a conversation in depth, even about what he wants to do in the future, and Nolan seems fine. That's at 2:45 to 3:30 p.m. I believe, because she didn't know and the coach didn't know the exact time, that would have made that very complicated for Warren to see Nolan at 3 o'clock. You feel me? Like at 2:45 to 3:30, the mother says the coach is talking to Nolan for an extended period of time, standing there talking to Nolan, 2:45 to 3:30. So how is Warren seeing Nolan in a completely different place, cradling at 3 o'clock Katie? Two different witness accounts? Then it gets worse. 3:30, a lot happens at 3:30 according to what they've said. 3:30, Tristan sees Nolan with Katie. Okay? And at that exact moment, Tristan also says that he dropped his girlfriend's koozie lid into the water at 3:30. So not only is Tristan at 3:30 seeing Nolan walking with Katie, he's also at that very moment about to get into a very big fight. So by 3:30, Tristan's in a fight because some guy is telling him how to treat his girl. Could that have been Nolan? Could Tristan, I'm just asking questions, could have Tristan been talking smack to his girlfriend in a very poor, derogatory, threatening way? I'm just asking questions I don't know the answer to. And could Nolan have just simply been protecting a young woman from the brunt of somebody that was being a drunk asshole? Question mark. You feel me? Like he's like, I dropped, it was all over, believe it or not, me dropping the lid in the water. And she let me hear about how I would buy her a new one. And this dude starts telling me how to treat my woman. I'll tell you, that's be something one of my kids would do. If he's out with his friends, if his friends ever behave that way to be maybe even threatening or aggressive towards a female, one of my kids would definitely step in and be like, hey, you're not going to do this. You're not going to talk to her like that. You're not going to do this. No, back up, dude. And that person, if they're drunk, may come back out and be like, don't tell me how to treat my woman. All right, let's get back into this. So the coach sees Warren on his feet, alive and well, between 2:45 and 3:30. Warren, I believe, is full of malarkey. But that's just how I believe. He also said he didn't stop off at the first location. They went straight to Fort Bayou, which the GPS shows that is incorrect. So I tend not to believe this whole 3 o'clock thing. I just don't buy it. But we're over here. We got 3:30. Tristan says he sees Nolan with Katie. I could see that. Nolan and Kaylee coming over to talk to Tristan, his girlfriend. Maybe Tristan, I'm just asking, did he drop the lid in the water? She got mad. Tristan barks off some shit. Then you have to ask yourself if it was real bad, if the words were bad, or if there was some hands involved towards the girl or aggression. Nolan sounds like he did everything right and was honorable. And he would stand up for what he believed was right. And he was passive. He didn't believe in fighting. Would he have stepped up to say, don't talk to her that way? Don't treat her like that? I don't know. Let's get back into this. So now we jump from Trayston being in the fight. Trayston at 3:30, between 3:30 and 4:15 in that window, well, even a little before, Trayston's now got to get on the boat, right, with his uncle, which he said some dude had gotten his face. He's on the boat. Trayston's on the boat, and the uncle is trying to calm him down. Trayston's allegedly yelling, let me off this effing boat. Okay? Then Trayston makes it very clear. He puts himself back on land. He did that. He put himself back on land. We're now getting closer and closer to the point that Nolan's no longer seen. Not that Trayston did anything. I'm just following what we're being told by these people that are giving up interviews. So Trayston now has put himself back on land between 4 and 4:23. Well, even 4:20. And that's the moment, 4 to 4:20, where we don't see Nolan anymore. Now listen to me. 4 o'clock, Javon claims that he sees Nolan with Katie and friends. But Warren's brother is still in a fight. Like, Warren is heading off the boat to go, like, pull his little brother out of this at that exact moment. Because it went Trayston with a fight, and then, boom, the second one came in, was actually Warren's little brother came into this. Right? Warren's little brother. Okay. Warren's the one that didn't drive a boat out, so he's not responsible for passengers because he was on Bart's boat. So you're telling me that if Warren is 18, that we have a youngin' out there with no parents and all these boats of Warren's, man, that's a huge amount of liability not to have a qualified supervising adult on. I mean, you know there's going to be partying, you know they're going to be drinking, and you know your kids like to fight, apparently, allegedly, and you don't have any concerns about handing them your boat keys to not one boat, but two, and your son isn't even driving one of the boats, and you're good with this? And you swung by on the island allegedly for just a photograph for the 4th of July. 10 minutes in and out. Okay, let's get back over here. So, Trayston is now on the boat. He's all yelling and screaming. We've got that at 4:23. We've got that video, right? Let me off the effing boat, blah, 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 right? Okay, Javon just got done seeing Katie and Nolan. And Warren is still in a fight. Warren's little brother's still in the fight. Not Warren, Warren's little brother. Okay, all right. And at 4:31, the GPS shows that the sinking boat takes off. And they forgot to put the trim down, which suggests, in my view, in my belief, that they were flooring it to get out of there. And they made simple mistakes because they were in a panic. Okay? 4:43, dispatch call for sinking Triton boat, according to ABC. 4:45, Trayston also leaves the island, and at 5:15, Katie leaves island without Nolan. They all scatter like ants. Are you feeling me? So, Trayston is saying that this person said, don't talk to your girl that way. What did Trayston say to his girlfriend that caused, oh, I don't know, someone that happened to be right there. See, that's the thing that he didn't get. Nolan said, I'm sorry, Trayston said at 3:30, he saw Nolan walking with Katie. He said 3:30, he dropped the lid in the water and the fight started. 3:30, Trayston put Nolan right there. So it's not like Nolan's across the island and it couldn't have happened. So was this entire bullshit thing happen where a young man lost his life because some drunk little 18-year-old couldn't control his temper and the way that he talked to a young girl? And someone was trying to protect that girl, lost their life? I'm just asking questions. I mean, it was Trayston that said he locked eyes with his uncle. He didn't say, his uncle said, we're in big trouble, get your ass on the thing. But there was a moment where he was like, OMG, no words needed. Get on the boat. Was in his eyes, in the uncle's eyes. That sounds serious to me. That don't look like just, you give that kid that look of, that means, yeah, OMG. You feel me? So, if you really look at it, Trayston's uncle's an adult, and it would appear, if I was going by all this stuff, just from appearance, and that's all it is what I can see, that we got a couple other, at least one other adult on this boat. Then, when we go into the whole thing, where we start looking at the positioning of the boats, right? They be moving. They get, all of a sudden, Boat X, which I believe is the Triton. I think Boat X is Triton. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. Maybe it's Boat 2. I don't know. But anyway, Boat X disappears. Maybe that's Trayston's boat. What other boat? I mean, y'all, this is right off of the Triton. Look at that. You tell me that's an adult. DC Fly says, I thought early on because Trayston said Nolan would give him advice about girls. Yep, about girls. Man, DC Fly nailed it. Nolan giving Trayston advice about girls. Could that have been Trayston put Nolan standing right there with Katie in front of him when the fight started around 4:00? We don't see Nolan after that, y'all. I'm going to have to listen to that. I'm going to have to listen to that interview with new ears, because look at this. Look at this, 3:30 right here. Let me highlight this for you. We'll make it black, and we'll make this white. So it's in black and white for you to see. Oh, I didn't make it white. Hold on. I made it gray. I want it white. Okay, it's blue. Where is white? That is gray. It says it's white. It's not white. We're going yellow. 3:30, 3:30, 3:30. Do you see anything the same? Trayston fights with somebody that's given him basically advice in his face how to treat his girlfriend who he was having an argument with. Yet Trayston's the one that said Nolan's standing right there at 3:30. And as DCF is pointing out, Trayston's the one that says Nolan often gave him advice about females. Can't make it up, you guys. Linda Beatty says, you did it again, Mama. The Pyron Warren's brother, Ike Pyron, is Warren. Oh, I'm not going to read names. Okay. I'm not meaning to read names. So we'll just say IP is Warren's brother, right? Wait a minute. I wanted to read that and I missed it. Slim Life, you were all talking about a fight that unalived a person and no one in the hundreds of people said anything. Yeah, right. I thought of that. I laughed because I was like, oh my God, it's so obvious. All right. Trayston said he didn't know where Nolan was. He felt he was floating by the boat down here when he was on the boat with his uncle. Floating. Okay? You hear me out. When there's boat after boat after boat out of boat, one, you're in all these weird little cubby holes where big boats protect everybody from seeing you too. Number two, the minute you grab somebody by the throat, allegedly, and you plunge them underwater, there's no sound. That person opened their mouth to scream, they drowned. No sound. Feel me? Do you think boys are going to get in a fist fight when they're waist deep or neck deep or armpit deep in water? If boys fight in the water, they're more than likely going to try to push the other person's head underwater. And there's going to be no sound for anybody to hear shit. It's going to be a silent homicide. You might hear some splashing. So, leave what you want. How old is Warren's little brother? Is he the one that's 50? I have no idea. I know he's a minor. Godly Diva, I trust God to... I'm not going to read that. I wish everybody well and the truth to be revealed and the police to do their job and that justice be served. I believe in doing the paperwork to assure that the truth is uncovered. Yes, thank you. That way I can read your comments, S. Irene. I can't read the whole names like that. That's what boating insurance is for, I guess. That's sad to say. True, or if you have them in a sleeper hold on the boat. Maybe not around so many people. They would have to go to an area where nobody was. I still say too many eyes. I don't believe that. No. Chloe Smith was abducted from a campground full of people and right out of her parents' tent in the middle of the night. Totally just taken out in the middle of a campground. People have drowned in the middle of family reunions and they didn't even know it. We had a huge gathering and my cousin Stormy, that was her name, is her name. She was 3. And a bunch of the kids with one adult went over and they were a little ways away. And I thought they were all just playing and screaming and having fun. I didn't even know that there had been killer bees all in this nest that had attacked the little 3-year-old. She was stung over 120 times, but survived. They even stung the inside of her lungs, everything. It was horrific. And I was there at the time that happened. I could even hear them screaming. I could see them all running, but they were quite a bit of distance away. I was just a child. The adults were over there. And I thought they were playing. And they weren't. They were in full-blown panic. It was horrible. So it can happen. And in water, that would be a silent death. So Javon's mom is Nolan's mom's best friend, not Tristan. Thank you. I believe that. I heard you only have to be 12, I think 16 at least, to sail a boat with a motor. Oh my gosh. Somebody knows something, let the truth prevail. Julie says, can Nolan be in between boats when they were pulling out and didn't see him because they were drunk? That's another thought too. I mean, a heavy hole hitting someone can cause blunt force trauma. However, he just said simple redness to the back of the head, not any contusions or blunt force against the back of the skull. We have the redness. So that would make me wonder more along the lines that somebody grabbed by the throat and throttled under the water. And they wouldn't even have to throttle to put a lot of pressure. As long as the person's head never came up for air, they're going to win the fight. You feel me? It just feels like there probably are some adults here. Am I imagining it? Please share with me in your comments below if you think that these are adults. Let me know. I mean, look at this dude. I will literally, let me just do this, duplicate it. Let's take everything off so that there's none of this. On here, you get a clear view of the dude. Okay. This is the original picture. You tell me if you think that is a young teenager right here. Or whose daddy is this, y'all? Whose daddy is it? Who's your daddy? Tristan looks like a loose cannon. A hothead plus is drinking is bad. Agree. Don't rule out currents. He could have went in front of the boat to pee and got sucked underneath. Nolan's mom. What? Did it say Nolan's mom? Oh, your comment does. I thought Javon's mom was Nolan's mom's BFF. Then she scooped up the phone. Nolan's parents stated they don't know Tristan. Thomas is saying no signs of foul play from external autopsy. Is the real autopsy out? Don't come in sharing the fake one, but if the real one's out, we'll be covering that tomorrow. All right, you guys, you've been incredible. I do believe the truth is coming out. Don't forget the Mac Daddy boat. I'm going to go to my grave saying, I told y'all it said Mac Daddy. Everybody gave me so much crap there. I even have my lovely family going, it says little, Mama. It clearly says little. And I'm like, I think it says Mac. I'm going to stay with what I think. I was right. But anyway, all right, Jack Sprat. You want to see Jack Sprat? My God, you weigh a fortune. Because you cost a fortune. Quit licking on your mama. He's trying to get in my mouth. You're my baby. All right, you guys, this is Jack and Mama D. Let me get the mouse. We're going to sign out. He can't control his liquor. I'm just telling you. I do pray for true justice with Nolan Wells. And that comfort comes to his family. And that the strength of God brings the truth to the table and in the light. I love you guys. Peace out.
From the dust I was born, to the dirt I shall return. When my eyes are closed, in the shadows, my enemies will think they won, but I am here to stay. Destiny will overcome, no, I am not afraid. Like a phoenix in the night, my soul will rise from the darkness.